prayed for a girl. So I wasn't expecting anything than the image and the likeness of God. But image and the likeness of God, you would never know.
7 years ago, when Ellen had her beautiful daughter, she and her husband's joy knew no bounds. But little did they know they were in for a surprise. Ellen had earlier given birth to 2 boys and was yearning for a girl. But barely 48 hours after the birth of their long-awaited daughter had they realized she was different from her 2 other siblings. Doctors couldn't diagnose the problem immediately, and when they did, it was too late. They said Nana Madazi had cerebral palsy.
Let me be honest with you. I refuse it. Even now, I say, doctors say my child has it.
Since then, the life of the Dazis have experienced a massive turnaround. Because of their daughter's condition, their lives came to a standstill. Ellen quit her job as a secretary to take up the job as a full-time stay-at-home mom. But that had a heavy toll on the family's finances.
It took a lot from us financially. Because if you plan to do this tomorrow, she's at the hospital. If you plan to do that tomorrow at the hospital, I wouldn't lie to you that I stayed in a container for 3 years. Yes. That is how the situation got. In fact, it got to a time when you see me, you think I'm mad. Because I wasn't dressing. Where is the money to dress when the child is hungry? And there were other boys in school that you need to take care of.
Cerebral palsy, or CP, is a neurological disorder actually caused by brain damage. This happens when there's a brain injury or abnormal development of the brain that occurs when a child's brain is still developing before birth, during birth, or immediately after birth. People with the disorder struggle to speak, stand, and walk. They tend to drool, have seizures, and find it difficult to control their bladder. Here in Africa, children with CP are considered as either snakes or being possessed by some evil spirit. Although money was a big problem, Ellen and her husband faced a much stiffer challenge: stigma.
If I even sitting down with a friend or even a family sister, and you want to go and ease yourself and hold my child for me, in fact, instantly she will finish the conversation and want to leave. Or when you leave her, you come and meet her, and was like this that you left the child. It will be so until you come back. Even at church, I sing at church, and sometimes they call you to come and sing, and you turn back, and nobody wants to take your child. In fact, somebody will be picking the Bible from the back. Somebody will be lacing the shoe. Nobody wants to hold your child.
They weren't in this alone. Other families also faced a similar problem.
When somebody sees with a child like this, the person will not even come closer to you.
Then they decided to seek spiritual help. The revelations were shocking. Instead of easing her pain, Ellen left each place angrier and more depressed than she entered.
And some of them could look at you and tell you that your child is a snake. And every 12 midnight, she turns into a snake. And I will sit down at 12 midnight waiting for my child to turn into a snake. And I will ask her, why did she come to me if she knows she's a snake? And in fact, she will never turn. I stayed for 3 days waiting for my child to turn. She never turned.
There are many risk factors that cause CP: bacterial and viral infections, bleeding in the brain, lack of oxygen to the brain before, during, or after birth, prenatal exposure to drugs and alcohol, head injuries sustained during birth or in the first few years of infancy. And not every case has a clear-cut explanation. Despite the fact that it can be managed through alternative medication, physiotherapy, speech therapy, and other modes of treatment, there is really no foolproof yet for a cure for CP. So Ellen took her daughter's destiny into her own hands. Through the help of a few friends and her little savings, she set up this place where her daughter and other children with similar conditions will get the needed care and attention.
I decided to go for the waiting. When I came back, the direction came and we started. That is somewhere May. That is somewhere May. Yeah, this year.
Even though it is not well equipped, the women love it here. For them, it is the best getaway for their children. Ellen relies on the kindness of other people to run the place and hopes to get more support.
First, she can't sit by herself. She only lie down watching one side, but now she's trying to move her body also and try to sit well and play with her legs.
Everything that I've been doing here is actually from my pocket that I do to support. Some of the mothers, even after bringing a child for physio, transportation back is actually a problem.
She does not only care for children. 36-year-old Nanaya also drops by the place. Ellen says he is dutiful. He arrives very early in the morning, tidies up the place, runs errands, and even wakes her up. Nanaya just has one word. Nanaiba, emini otani nanaife ambu. Nanaiha boni no ye. Oh, okay. There are stories of many people around the world who have beaten their physical disabilities to shake the world with their amazing capabilities. Right here in Ghana, Farida Bedoué, the software engineer, has been described as a tech guru who owns cerebral palsy like a boss. Therefore, hope is not lost for Ellen's beautiful daughter Nanama and the scores of other kids battling with the condition. With the right care, perhaps they too would grow to become Ghana's version of the late Christy Brown, David Ring, Mason Zaid, or Farida Bedoué, who despite their impairment have gone on to do exploits.
I still know my God has a purpose for her. And until that purpose is reached, I won't give up.
'Cause you are strong, you are wise, you are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, there's no